a common question that I often receive. If the client asks, should I pick up my child or not? Should I leave them to cry for a certain amount of time? One of the things that I often say is that when you are holistic, you are ensuring that you are not generalizing, you are customizing and being as specific as possible. If the client asks, should I pick up my child or not? That is a very general question. And in order for me to give my client the appropriate answer, I have to know what is going on in the circumstances. How you respond to a child at night depends on what is going on in that specific situation, in the environment, in the relationship, in the family dynamic, in what happened during the day. Depending on all those details and all that information that I collect, then I'm going to be able to know how to respond. Is this a situation where the child is waking up at night due to, the daytime schedule, different inconsistencies going on? Did the child get scared? Is the child under the weather? So if my client should pick up the child or not depends on those factors as well as timing. Should my client pick up their child after 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? How old is the child? What is going on? What is the relationship like? What was the birth like? I mean, there are so many things to consider in a given situation. Should I leave them to cry for a certain amount of time? That depends. So crying in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with crying in and of itself. Crying is a form of communication, release. However, ignoring or trying to prevent a cry are two extremes that pretty much teach people that crying is not okay, that you can cry all you want, you're not going to be supported, right? Or crying is not okay. So the thing here to recognize is that it depends. If you are being a truly holistic coach, you cannot have a cookie cutter solution for every client. I cannot tell every single client the same exact answer. I'm not going to say the same thing. Now, if the question came in, what kind of physical and mental state is most optimal to show up for my child when my child is waking up at night? And in that case, I would begin to share, tuning in, checking in with your breath, ensuring that you're grounded and clear and calm so that you know how to respond, tuning into the situation. That would be the first step. The next step would be to understand, once you tune in, what is happening with that child. And depending on what is happening to that child, then how we respond to the situation will depend. And it's going to be different. In some cases, that child may need to be picked up right away. In some cases, not. There's so many factors involved. Giving a cookie cutter answer to a very general question is not going to be helpful at the end of the day. Rather, we want to get as specific as possible to understand what is it that our clients are truly asking and determining what is actually happening specifically in that situation so that I can then support my client with tools and strategies so they can then show up in their best way, in their most optimal way for their child. This is how you approach things holistically. This applies to all holistic coaching.